All right.
Oh, there it is. Ooh, there it is.
What's up, y'all? What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? We are live. We are live, the Roundup podcast. We are live and in your face. I got Levi, and we got some special guests today. We got Freeman and Meat, some close brothers of ours. They in the place to join in the conversation today. Just to let y'all know, Tam and Rissa, they are on break. They had some other stuff they had to take care of, but they will be back for the next episode. But I'm glad to have my brothers in the place today. What's up, y'all?
What's
What up,
good?
Brody?
What's going on, man? What's good?
Oh man, it's good to have y'all in here. Let's see. I'll make sure this thing is recording. It's not showing me. All right.
Just get it done, okay? Just get it done.
There we go. We're gonna wait for a couple people to come into place. What'd you say, Levi?
I said, just get it done, please. All right.
So let's see here. I know a couple people said they were gonna try to come in.
Let me do this up.
Oh, just get it.
Oh.
It's good to have y'all here. Let's see who's coming in. Anybody in here yet? Got 4 viewers on right now. I can't see who they are.
Probably.
If you're in here, go ahead and shout us out. Say what's up. Say hello. We can talk back to you.
One of them is me, so
It's probably us 4.
Probably. Right.
Say that one more time. I couldn't hear you.
I said it's probably us 4.
there go my friend.
Say that one more time.
Terrance, what you got going on?
That's not showing me the. I couldn't hear you.
I said
The live.
Yeah.
There go my friend.
Oh, okay.
Terrance, what you got going on?
That's not showing me the. I couldn't hear you.
I said
The live.
Yeah.
Freeman, you gonna have to you might have to turn that down because I can hear your the live stream in your background.
It's not me.
Oh, it's a
Oh, you can hear my echo.
yeah.
Yeah, we can hear the echo.
You might have to turn that down because I can hear your the live stream.
Oh God, sorry. Hold on, let me see.
It's not me.
Oh, it's a
You can hear my echo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is really delayed today.
I don't hear it now. I think we got it. I think we're good.
There we go. I had to turn the sound off.
Hey, was that Andrea? Hey, Mattia, what's going on, guys?
Hey.
Come on into the room.
Come on in.
Come on in the room, guys. Come on in the room, ladies, gents.
Thank you guys for coming out today.
We appreciate you guys. Got the brothers in the place. The ladies, they're taking a sabbatical, taking a little break, but they will be back. Today we got some close brothers of ours up in here. Glad to have them with us. Hope you guys are having a great night, great weekend. We're just gonna have some bros talk. That's all. So we're gonna go ahead and get it started, right? So I wanted to bring my brothers on to see, just to talk to them about some things and see where their minds are over the years. I had me, Freeman, Levi. Look at Levi. I gotta say, you taking a sip already. What you taking a sip for already, man?
Bro, I'm good, man. Tamara, you whack. How about that? And your weave dry. How about that?
Ooh.
Yeah, you think because you're not on the show today, you excluded from the ammunition I got? No, you're gonna get it today.
Terma, don't do that, Terma. Don't be that way.
She about to come strong.
Don't be that way,
She
Tom.
about to embarrass me in front of everybody.
I cannot hear y'all. But yeah, so we just was talking. I mean, we haven't been talking, but I told them just to come on and fill in the spot for Rissa and Tim because they were going to be busy, and I wanted to have like a bros talk. So I was just thinking about how we all met each other back in the day, whatever, and how we've all progressed in our lives and grown so much. Looking at how I met Freeman back in the day, marching band, Norfolk State, 2002. And just to see the man he is now, big family man, holding it down. And it's just been great to see the progression in all of our lives, you know what I'm saying? Especially their lives, because they definitely have been doing some big things. All of them family guys, all of them have kids, wives, and they hold it down. And I just wanted to get your perspective, guys, to see, I know Henry from 2002 on up. We met in marching band, knowing each other in church. That's how me and Levi met. That's how me and Demetre met. What year would y'all say that was, Levi and Demetre? I honestly don't know.
2007. 2007 is when I moved to Virginia.
I met you in 2002. I came to Demetre in 2002. Were you there then?
2002. So it's been almost, I mean, for most of us, almost 20 years,
Yeah.
It's crazy because I've known Demetre and Levi since they were kids. Well, Demetre a little bit since he was a kid, but Levi definitely.
Yeah.
I definitely remember him as he was a kid.
Way back.
But I mean, I was a kid too. I was just fresh out of high school in 2002, going into college. But now they all family guys. How do you guys feel like? Who anybody can answer? How do y'all feel about your lives as it's changed since then? What kind of things have impacted you the most over the years? Go ahead, Levi. I asked you. Okay, go ahead, Freeman.
Go first, man. Yeah, so I know for me, just having the understanding of the value of money, understanding your name, the credit, making sure your name is right so you can get certain things like a car, a house, other things. And then having that responsibility, taking on a wife and the children and the many responsibilities that come with that, the pressures of making sure you're paying everything on time, make sure that, you're dividing your money, make sure you have a little bit of savings and everything like that. That transition from being single to now being, married, I've been married for a while now, a good old while,
Yeah.
almost 15 years. That'll be in a couple of weeks. So 15 years in this thing. So I'm pretty much the senior of this group here. So
yeah,
you can learn a thing or two, the good, bad, and the ugly. So it's all good. But yeah, man, it's been a journey, man. Definitely a lot of ups and downs in that process. But at the end of the day, it's all good, man. It's a good thing. You can spend time with that special someone. It's not always peachy, but that comes with marriage. You have to work through with certain things as you grow. What I used to like in my 20s, I don't like anymore in my 30s. My perspective changes. You mature in the marriage and stuff. So marriage is a constant work.
True. How about you, Levi? How do you feel about that question? Like, how do you feel you've changed, or how do you feel your perspective on things have changed, or what's impacted those changes?
What's impacted those changes? Just time. You learn things as you go. It's just a learning experience, man. To be honest with you, that's what changes you more than anything. You try things. Some things work. Some things don't. You pick up the things that work. You try the thing that didn't work again, and maybe it'll work this time. Maybe it won't. I mean, that's what marriage and going through life is, man. It's really just trial and error. It just like piggybacking off of Freeman, of course you go through all those things. You have responsibility as, you're a dad now. God, I'm somebody's dad. I got 2 kids.
You 2 people dead. Freeman, what, 4, 5? Was it?
No. And no more. That's it.
Yeah, this is it
The
from
shop
me.
is closed over here. Okay.
When you think back on it, more than anything for me, it's like time went by so quickly. Because you know, you go from okay, we're married to, you know, hey, things happen. You get your first child, you buy a house, you know that type of stuff. And next thing you know, you're looking at it and you're like, I got 2 kids and I'm 30, dog. Like what? Like this is crazy. But that
Yeah.
was, you know, that's the biggest thing for me.
How about you, Meat?
I don't want to be like too dry with it, but like, I feel like when I became a husband and then a father, like marriage was like a huge thing for me because it was like one of my biggest goals growing up. Everyone else coming up, growing up, say they want to have this huge career, whatever. There was things I wanted to do too, but like my biggest goal was just to get married and have a family. So when I got married, that was like, dang, I accomplished my biggest goal. And then I had my son, and I mean, I love my son to death, but when people kept asking me, how does it feel to be a father? I just like, it was regular. Like I expected this. So
I feel you on that.
it was all like cool. It's just like I accomplished my goals now as far as what I learned from it, what I'm still learning from it. It's a lot, man. It's a lot of work. One thing I learned the most is that most of the advice people give you, about 99% of it don't work. You got to do it yourself. It's custom made for your life. So, it's hard work. It's the hardest work. Marriage is the hardest work I've ever had to do. Being a father is probably second. So,
Yo, that is such facts what he said. Like,
Yeah.
like when you first get married, like everybody's giving you advice and stuff like that, but it's not that they're trying to give you advice from like it's bad advice or anything like that. But what you come to realize as you mature, like Freeman said, is that what works for one set of people is may not work for you. You know,
Nope.
a lot of people, they try to pattern their marriage off of these people, that person. They watch these different people, but it may not work. Like, you know what I mean, you and your wife, you're different from them. You know what I mean? And that's what you have to understand quickly. Because if you try to make force your marriage into this thing, it like both parties are just going to be unhappy, and you know, it's not going to work.
True. Shoot, I don't understand none of that. One day maybe, but just to go back to just like from back in the day to now, do you guys have anything that you regret? Do you feel like you regret any decisions that you have made on the path to from then to now, to being a father, being a husband, all that stuff? For me, I don't necessarily regret any of my decisions that I've made. I feel like, well, I'll say this. Like, I don't regret like decisions that led me to the path that I'm on, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like there are certain decisions in life that lead you down a certain pathway to guide you on certain ways, right? But then there are certain decisions that you make that affect what happens to you on that path, right? So for me, like, I feel like I'm on the path I'm supposed to be, but I feel like certain things that may have happened on the pathway, maybe I could have done this different, maybe I could have done that differently. But as a whole, I feel like certain things have happened. It led me to a lot of lifelong friendships or understanding of things that I'm glad that I have nowadays. So that's how I feel about things. How about you guys?
I
I
know for
don't know if
me,
I would really say anything about like regrets. I mean, I might have regrets just as far as timing, but not as far as decision. There's some things I wish I can go back and wait longer to do. There's some things I wish like I wish I would have learned this before I got into this. Like just that, but not really the decision itself, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Like for me, sometimes I am mad that sometimes I get mad at myself because I owe money for college tuition, something like that. But I'm glad I went to college, right? Because it did help to get me certain jobs. I just wish that I was smarter or more sound minded to make sure that I had scholarships or do what I had to do to make sure that everything was paid for back then instead of having to pay for this stuff now, you know? So that's what I mean. Like, I don't mind, I don't regret the path, but I just regret the decisions on the path. It's a lot, I won't say a lot of things, but it's some things that I wish that when I go look back on, I was like, oh, I probably could have done this better. I probably could have done that better. But at the end of the day, I don't really regret a lot of things because, for one, especially since I moved to New York, I have met a lot of good friends up here. I met a lot of good friends down in Virginia, Norfolk State, stuff like that. So I'm just happy for certain things. UFGRC, of course. Some of my closest friendships are in UFGRC, all that. So anybody else want to elaborate?
Yeah, I agree with Meat saying, certain things, certain aspects I would like to, spend a little bit more time waiting, prior to just jumping right into certain things. But I will say that even though I jumped in, I actually learned. Life is a learning process. Helped me to mature on certain situations, helped me to have a better understanding, who I am and build character. So all the experiences I experienced through my marriage, through my singleness, through the friendships, it made me a better person. Some friendships are not great, and then other friendships you develop and evolve, and that's part of that process of growing and maturing. So,
how about you, Levi?
I'm sorry, guys. I got myself on mute because Logan, he's something else.
I see his hand. He keeps going like all you see is his little hand go up.
Yeah, but for me, I don't really regret anything. I feel I am the type of person, like, I learn best when I go through something.
True.
And I learn how to adapt in the situation. I feel like I gain strength when I go through certain situations. Now, of course, like, the little things like, hey, I wish I would have listened to my mom when she said this, or I wish I would have listened to my dad. Oh my God, I'm 30, and oh my God, that's what my dad said. And he told me that when I was 16. So it's just those little things. But other than that, man, I don't regret anything, man. Life is a journey, and I think you need these things to grow. And if you're not growing, then what are you doing? I mean, that's me.
True.
If everything was easy, I'm sorry. If everything was easy in life, man, if everything was just handed to you,
you don't get nowhere.
Yeah, you wouldn't get you wouldn't work for anything.
You won't have any substance. You won't have any substance about you.
Like what will you give, or what can you offer? So that's what I try to instill in my children. This world is a mean world. It's a cruel world, and it's also a beautiful world. There's beautiful places out here, and everything like that. But in our ethnicity, so to speak, it's hard. It's hard out here, especially for my sons. I'm showing them the ropes and everything like that, and then my daughters, my princesses, just raising them in a certain way. I'm still learning how to raise girls. I haven't raised a girl. I don't have any sisters, so to speak. So I'm learning that process, through my friends as well as my wife, how to handle my daughters. My daughters are teenagers, what I'm saying? They're coming up in that age to start to feel themselves, certain things. They like certain things, So I'm like, man, I don't know, I'm like, I know how I was, and then I know how my friends were, So I'm like, man, it's different when the tables are turned now. You're the parent, and you're like, but at the end of the day, I try not to be too overprotective with my children. I want them to understand, when I speak or say certain things, but then also them to experience certain things as well, right? So that they'll learn. It's easy for me to say it, but it's better when you go through the situation, you learn from it. I think we're all kind of in that same mindset. We are understanding that certain things that we have to go through in order to become a better person.
Yeah.
So accurate. I feel like it's really accurate. You have teenagers now, Meat and Levi. Y'all pretty much, I mean, baby girl of Levi is not a toddler, but y'all boys are pretty much still toddlers. So how does it feel having toddlers in today's age? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how do you navigate some of the pressures of like social media and all this other stuff as opposed to how you feel like your parents handle with things with you?
It's so different, right? So, back in the day, we didn't have internet like that. It was all
Right.
dial up and stuff. So our biggest thing was we going out, hanging out certain places like the mall, talk on the phone, click over, and then your parents pick up the phone. Hey, it's time to get up the phone. That's so embarrassing. All right, I gotta go, man, gotta go. That type of thing.
Right.
Nowadays, everybody has their own device. Like both my daughters, they have a cell phone. So, try to monitor that.
Their
And,
own cell phone. That's
their own
crazy.
cell phone. Like I didn't get my own cell phone until I was about like
You have your
20.
whole phone.
Like when I'm paying their own bill, right?
Yes.
So it's crazy just as they, so they have a lot of these different devices and everything like that. But that's today's society though.
It is.
Everything is different. And if they don't have that, then they'll be left. They're left out,
Yeah, you're right.
made fun of, saying all this cyber bullying and all these different things. There's an aspect. We try to, give them, not everything, but give them, because we didn't have. So of course you want to have it something better for them. But what is that? How do you govern that? So you take the good with the bad. You lay down the rules and stuff. You expect them to follow the rules, quote unquote, follow the rules. Do they follow the rules all the time? No, but at the end of the day, you have to be a little lenient too. I know God's lenient with us. We're not always dotting those I's, crossing those T's type of deal. So, yeah, that's my take on it. Just have to do the best you can with what you have.
How about you guys?
Levi,
Levi, are we?
Kids, they cool, man. They get on my they get on my nerves, but they cool. I wouldn't trade my kids for anything in the world, of course. I'm a proud dad. I spend much time with my kids. They're with me here, all day. So
wait till they get older.
I mean, but do you? I guess you can't really. Can't really elaborate because like Henry does, because he has kids. That
exactly.
Are,
I'm not at that level. I'm not at that stage.
Wait till they start talking back and they have their own opinions, and they don't want to do this, that, and the third. They don't want to clean this.
I do feel like these kids, they are a little bit more advanced. Like some of the things that Jordan talks about, and I'm like, what did you just say? I have to monitor. For me, she likes YouTube Kids. I have to monitor what she watches on that thing, man.
Yeah.
You think that it's all good and gravy, but you'll start to hear some of the things they say. You're like, bro, what did you just say?
Exactly.
So it's crazy, and as far as like social media wise, I think it's different for men than it is women. Like, I think for a man is not as easily influenced as a woman is, especially from outside sources. You know what I mean? Like a man, like when it comes to like social media and those pressures of how you like should raise your kid and stuff like that. I think you're going to do what you got to do. What do you want to say, Terrance?
No, I just I wanted you to kind of elaborate on what you meant by that. What you did.
Well, of course, social media in today's society, a lot of people are offended by things. A lot of people say, huh?
I can barely hear him. He's fine.
Oh, you can't? Okay. A lot of people say that, how you should discipline your kid.
Yeah.
This is your life, right? How you should discipline your kid, what you should do in your household, man. I really think that social media should stay out of people's houses, man. Like,
you said you think social media should what?
Stay out of people's homes, man. Like, I think you should let social media stay out of your home, and you shouldn't offer your home to social media. You know what I mean? Like, keep your stuff in house, and keep that stuff out. Like I said before, what works for one person may not work for you and your household. You got to get it. You know what I mean? So that's just me.
I see what you mean. So you're saying like with how someone might tell you how to do something.
Correct. Tell you how you need to parent your kids. And even sometimes, like, this might be a little testy, but when it comes to your parents, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes what worked on you may not work for your kids.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean?
Uh-oh,
and
parent.
A lot of times, like, well, I did this with you by this time. Yeah. So why this not happening? Okay, well, do you want to take them? I mean, yeah. And it's not that, but you like in that you learn that what worked for you and your parenting style back in 1990, it's now 2021. I'm sorry. And that's not going to work. You know, kids move differently. Some kids move a lot faster. Some kids move a lot slower. You know what I mean? You have to pick and choose what works for you. That's all I, really want.
Will you guys say, like, for your household, are you guys open to outside influences just coming and telling you what to do, or are you guys rather solicit? You would rather have someone come. I'm sorry, you would rather solicit help, and then if you solicit it, then it's okay for someone to come help you. Like, how do you deal with that? Like family members or friends just trying to come in and tell you you're doing this wrong, doing that wrong.
Yeah, it's not cool at all. It's like the most infuriating thing ever. when anybody tells, like, if you're not going and asking for the advice and they're just coming and saying, like, especially if they say it like you're doing it wrong or something like that, and it's just like, yo, oh, it's like an instant I want to knock you out right now. It's like,
have you had someone come and try to do it in a way that was, because I feel like it depends on the way it's brought, right? Like if it comes in a way where someone's trying to, you can tell they really love you or whatever, or you have that rapport with them, I feel like they can bring it. But like someone come like, oh, y'all just doing this wrong, it comes the wrong way, right? Like
I think that is key. You know, how they bring the situation to you. But what I will say is the situation is brought to you wrong far more than is brought to you right.
That's very true. A lot of people don't realize how judgmental they can be, and
well, it's not even that though. What it is really, and I talked to my mother about this conversation me and my mom have. What it is that when they are parents, and now that I'm a parent, I probably will see the same thing. They're always going to view you as their child. They're used to talking to you a certain way, you know what I mean, and doing things with you a certain way. And other people may view, like, let's say I've been going to our church since I was 12, right? So, hey, I'm a kid. You grew up with me. I'm used to you, you know, all this other type of stuff. So they may present it to you, but with the mindset that you're still this kid that I watched grow up this whole time. But now I'm mature. I'm a dad and I got a whole house. So that same presentation is not going to work for me now as it did back in those days.
True. So for you guys, like as men, who have been your biggest role models in life? Like for me, you know, for me, honestly, my biggest role models have been my dad and then Apostle Dallas, of course.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to it, I didn't realize how much alike I am with my father. It's so funny.
Oh, you real alike. Y'all are 100% the same.
My dad, like, but the like back in the day, it's so crazy. Like I feel like we were always bumping heads, but it's like now it's like I understand my dad a lot more than I did back in the day. And my mom and my sister would tell me, "Oh, you just like your father." It's so funny. And you know, it's the craziest thing. Like when I feel like I hear, you know how people say I hear God talking to me, like you don't hear audible voice, but you know, you hear spiritual voice, whatever. It's always my dad's voice. It's always his voice. It's the craziest thing. But him and then Apostle Dallas, of course, you know, those two are probably the most major influences in my life. I mean, I've had other male influencers and role models, my brothers, all y'all, I look at y'all and I'm like, y'all are great influences, whatever. But the ones who really, I mean, my dad was there most of my life. Apostle Dallas been there like half of my adult life. No, really all of my adult life until, you know, his untimely passing. But how about you guys? Who do you guys feel like really helped you to get to a place where you feel, you know, are blessed?
Just as male role models?
Any role model.
Oh, because if we saying without gender, you know, then my mom was my biggest role model. Because, you know, my mom is married to my stepdad now, and he's a role model too. So like when it comes to males, it's him and then Apostle Dallas that were my biggest role models. But in general, it's my mom. Like me and my mom are more like, especially when I was growing up, like me and my mom were so like tight that like I can look at her and we'll be thinking the same thing. So like my mom is my biggest role model, period. And then like as far as male role models, my dad, Apostle Dallas. And my I had other male role models growing up when I was in Louisiana too. My pastor that was there, Pastor T, and then other people too. But like the biggest ones were my dad and Apostle Dallas, and I say Apostle Dallas and not my other pastor because I had a better relationship with Apostle Dallas. I was a kid in Louisiana, and you know my pastor was older, so like he knew me, I knew him, but we didn't talk that much. We didn't really have a relationship like that. When I was here, like Apostle Dallas would see me coming out the bathroom and have a whole conversation with me, and I'm like, yo, I just peed. Like, can I wash my hands?
Oh man, it's crazy because I can't. Since you brought moms in, I can't leave my momsy out. Yes, of course, she's a great role model in my life. So don't leave out momsy. That's my road. That's my girl. Like whenever I go home, that's my momsy. She's definitely a huge role model. But anyway, y'all can go ahead. Who? Anybody else?
Yeah. So for me, of course, my dad. Definitely a big, impact as far as everything that he's done. My mom, of course, Apostle Dallas as well, and then my grandfather, the Apostle Stanley Butler, as far as my ministry background and everything like that. So those four people have really been the molding and shaping of what you see me today, So along with my friends, y'all shape me, you mold me. I get a little bit from y'all too. So it's not just, the primary.
And our siblings. How could I leave out my sister and my brother?
Oh God.
Like I'm proud. Look, let me tell you something. My sister, I'm very proud of my sister. She be rocking with her marriage. She be making it happen. You know what I'm saying? My brother, he got married 4 years ago. Him and his wife, they've been rocking, and I admire that. So yeah, they're role models too. I keep breaking into y'all's.
You're gonna let me finish. You just cut over in. You just take it over, man. You just have that takeover spirit. The Colonel, I understand. It's in your bloodline. I get it. I get it. The Colonel, man. Colonel Hawkins, man. I tell you, man.
Oh my
but
goodness.
yeah, man. It's just so many different people. You feed off on. You need that mold you and shape you, man, to make you who you are. And I'm forever grateful. For, those who had those private conversations, those who kept it real, those who were honest with me, even my friends back home in Baltimore, those ones who, shed a light on those in NSU, my Spartan Legion, my peoples, my family, those who I had those private conversations. Appreciate y'all, man. Class of 2000, appreciate y'all, appreciate y'all.
How about you, Levi?
Don't hate on 2000.
For me and Logan, number one, it would be my mom. I always tell people.
I think he agrees.
He's going on. He's like, yeah.
He 100% agrees.
He loves G-Ma. I always tell people my mom was my first pastor. She was my first leader. That's for sure. Then had to be my father figures. Had a couple of them. Of course, my dad. Even though, so like when it comes to the father figure portion of it, for me, how do I want to put this without offending nobody? I'm just gonna keep it real, but I took portions of certain things from each one of them.
Definitely.
And I took portions from each one of them, and the good I applied. To myself, what I could use to be a better man going forward. And then of course my guy Apostle Dallas Ellis, probably one of the biggest influence in my life ever. It is different, those are my biggest influences. I will say that I feel like if I'm just expressing myself, that I know for like Freeman, he lost his father, and I know we all lost Apostle Dallas. I feel like that left a huge void in my life, because you know, he was that voice always in my ear. Son, you need to do this. Son, you know, that, you know, constantly having constant communication and stuff like that. So then when you don't hear that voice anymore, you don't have that anymore, you know, it could be rough. You know what I mean? Especially, you know, influencing wise to this point in my life, you know, becoming a father, a homeowner, you know, Freeman, multiple kids, teenager. Hey, how do I navigate this? How did you do that? How can I get this? And then when you don't have that voice, it can be like, it's like, dog, man, I wish I had this at this moment in this stage of my life. So yeah.
Wow.
Bro.
That's
And we took like big influence losses. It seemed like it was back to back with Aunt Tammy, Apostle Dallas.
Yeah.
And then for me specifically, my parents moved away, so I couldn't like just go right to them. It was like back to back losses, and it was like, dang. So I talked to somebody. I can't remember who in the church I talked to about it, because like I was gone mentally for real.
Yeah.
And I had all this stuff happening. I was married. I was in like year 2 or 3 of the year 2 of my marriage. He was born the year that Apostle Dallas passed away. So it was like all new, and I was like, dang man, all my influences are gone. Like all my people that I would go right to. And that Jane was tough, but it is what it is.
so. How did you guys
What
power?
you got, Freeman? You want to piggyback on that?
Yeah, of course, man. 2018, man. That's when it all kind of started with my dad passing away, man. And it was just a downhill effect, man. It was just one after the other. You know, it's just crazy. And my family, and then, you know, Apostle Dallas Ellis, and then heavy hitters in the ministry was just going out, man. It was just crazy, man, all across. And it was very impactful, you know, getting in a place where, you know, you try to reach out to someone you can hear a voice and, you know, have some sense, you know, bring you back to, you know, reality, man, because you feel lonely, man. You know, you have those certain one that you trust that you can be vulnerable with.
Yeah.
And you're just out by yourself, man. And I'll be honest, man, I was in a dark place.
Yeah.
That year, man, I was in a dark place. I didn't care. And I just had to get myself together. It was hard. It was so hard. It was a hard year. Hard couple years, you know, 2018 to 2020, it was some hard years. And then, you know, right after that, you know, then I got laid off, you know, with the pandemic and stuff, man. I mean, it was just nonstop. It was nonstop, man. I said, man, I'm tired, man. I am so tired, you know, but going through that, you know, of course, I'm out better now. Of course, I'm employed now again. So, you know, that's a great thing, you know, and, you know, you live and you learn, you know, it makes you a better man, a stronger man, you know.
I think that's what I got from it more than anything, you know, losing these people or things like that, you know, at a certain point, you know, you're a baby eagle, but you have to leave the nest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you have to fly. You know what I mean? So of course, you know, you're gonna, and the crazy thing, and what I think about all the time is that I'm gonna live, all of us, we're all gonna live more of our life without these voices than with these voices. You know what I mean? And when I think about that, that's what kind of gets me like, okay, well, I need to get myself together because I'm not going to always have this right sitting right here in front of me. You know what I mean? And now this is my time, you know, to do this on my own. I'm sorry, Logan, he's over there by the camera. The camera's shaking. It's not we don't have an earthquake going on in Virginia right now. We have an earthquake made by Logan over here, okay? But yeah, man, that's all I want to say.
Yeah, I totally agree. And that's where, you know, my daddy always would say, you know, you got to lead in the nest. You got to hold your own, man. You got to be able to do X, Y, and Z. You just have to do it, you know. And the only way to do it is get off those, you know, safety nets or those crutches, man, that you lean on. And then when that support's not there, what you're going to do? You're just going to fall, or you're going to stand and go, you know. So that's part of that maturing process.
Yeah, when all that stuff like was happening, and we were all in that same place for whatever amount of time that it was. What I don't know about y'all, but for me, what I guess it's kind of like what Levi said. Like when you're an eagle, you gotta leave the nest. For me, it was more like it was their turn. Now it's your turn. So like you gotta be that for somebody else. So that's what got me. All right, okay. Let me get right. Let me.
And see, I'm kind of, I can kind of say it, but really no, I really can't say that I have experienced that. I mean, I still, I've been blessed. I still have both my parents with me, and I really are a big part of our lives, all three of us. I haven't had to say that I have not been able to lean on them or at least just call them. It's one thing, and I honestly can't imagine it, but it's one thing when you're feeling down. Sometimes you're just feeling down. You just want to hear somebody's voice. My mom and my dad's voice. Sometimes my dad can talk. He's real long-winded. But sometimes when I'm just feeling down, I could just call them and just to hear their voice just does something. I don't know. It's crazy. So I can't say that I have felt that. So I can't imagine. I can't imagine what it feels like to lose it. So I don't know, man. I pray for y'all. I pray that the Lord blesses y'all with that. It looks like, I mean, Freeman, you said that how did you come out of that feeling of, or you just shook it off and did what you had to do? What do you do?
It was a couple of people that I kind of really opened up to, and I'm extremely grateful for those people, and I really owe them everything, and they know who they are. But just like this time of the year, like in June, it's the Father's Day thing, right? It's the NBA Finals. My dad, we always talk around this time, as far as sports talk and everything like that, who's going to win and what you think was going on. I don't get those phone calls anymore, when I work out or I'm doing like a run or something like that. My dad would call, and I don't hear that no more, it's different. It's just so different not hearing his voice. But it's okay though. It's okay. He did all that he needed to do, and now I have everything that I need, and I still have my moments. I'd had a moment on this past Sunday, so it was hard, man. It's just hard. But I will say this: those who still have their parents or still have those loved ones that that haven't touched you yet, man, enjoy that time, man. Don't take advantage of it. I mean, don't count it for take it for granted. You know what I'm saying? Because you just don't know. And when it does happen, man, you just hopefully you have enough support around you, so you won't be in that place, man. Because that dark place is hard to come out, especially if they're really influencing your life. So
and I take those words because I mean, even for me, like a lot of times I think about people who we've lost or friends of ours. We all know. I don't know if we talked about this over the podcast or not. So I won't say it yet, but there have been people on this podcast who have lost very close people to them. Have we talked about that before, Levi? No, okay. And so that always brings me back to remembering every time I can. I try to go home, like even this past Father's Day, I did, to be honest, to be 100%, I did not feel like driving down to Virginia. I did not feel like driving down to Virginia.
I got on his tail. I got on him.
I was like, you know what? You did say something, but ultimately I was like, you know what? Pops is getting older. I need to go through and make sure I have memories. For one, I have memories, and then he has memories, and the family has memories. And we had a really good time. It's just sometimes you gotta shake that stuff off, and I'll be like, I honestly think about Henry. I think about other people who have lost family members, and I definitely could not imagine. Especially, I don't want because I remember this. I still remember this because the last time I came home for Apostle Dallas's birthday was the last time I saw him, and I was not going to come. And I was like, you know what? Let me just go down here and see him because it's his birthday. I'm gonna surprise him, make him feel good, whatever. And unfortunately, that Christmas, right? It was that
Yeah.
December. We lost
Yeah,
him.
December, man.
And
December the 27th.
I always think about that, I always think about time. I mean, you don't know. You just don't know. I don't want it to be, I don't, especially, you just don't want to be that one time, be like, oh, I can't, especially if you're just tired. Now, if you're financially strapped or something like that, don't put yourself in, financial burden for certain things. But if you can really do something to make sure you're there with your family, be there with your family, because you never know. You never know. And I'm just glad I was there with my dad. I definitely was glad I was there with Apostle Dallas for his birthday, because I could not imagine. It was a small thing. I was glad to be there.
No, for me, that's that's something that I had to really train myself on. Now that I'm older, I really have like gotten out of the mindset of like back in the day, you would put the things you do for church sometimes in front of your family.
Yeah.
And I had to I'm like, that's not correct.
Yeah.
My family comes first, then
Definitely.
my church, you know what I mean? And it's cool, you know what I mean? And that's the way that it should be. But I definitely feel you on that, and especially like when I think about Freeman and our other friend who's had loss as well. Sometimes I'm like, man, if I don't do this, what about this person? You know what I mean? That doesn't have the opportunity to do this with that person. How selfish would it be for me to be like, well, my peoples are right down the street, or I could drive up for an hour and go see my mom or something like that. Then I just say, hey, I don't feel like it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
to me, like sometimes it could be a slap in the face to other people who don't have their parent when you don't take
Definitely.
time out to go ahead and do something with your family member.
That's 100%. And you got to think about that too. You think about. I honestly, I have to. A lot of times I try to. I don't even think about it because it's so easy not to. How lucky, I won't say lucky, but I hate to say that I'm blessed over someone else who has, saying it's very it's very hard to really put it into words, because I don't want to negate. I don't want to negate the fact that others have suffered hard loss. And so I'm very thankful. I don't know, I can't say what causes things to happen and what doesn't, but I'm grateful for the moments that I have, and I cherish them. So, do you guys? I don't know. It's just I'm glad to have you guys on with us today. It's been a really good fun time. The Let's see if we have anybody in the comments. Marissa, I see you in the comments. What's going on with you? I see you said you like what Freeman said. Yeah. Do you want to? I don't know if I should put it out there like that, so I'll leave that alone. But that's kind of you said you like what Freeman said. Yeah. Do you want to? Uh oh, my thing is repeating. There we go. Go ahead, say what you about to say, Levi.
No, this boy is terrorizing me over here. Help! Someone call, please. Call 911.
He loves his pop.
He does.
He loves his pop.
He does.
I will say this about because I have a toddler too, so I have both spectrums here. So I have teenagers, and then I have my 2-year-old. So I will say, in this time, in the pandemic and everything like that, I have a closer relationship with age 3 than I did my other children, because my work schedule, with my other 3 children, I was always working at night. So I wouldn't see them, you know what I'm saying? I'll come home, I'll be asleep while they're off to school, and then vice versa. When I come home, they're already in the bed sleep, So I will say that my relationship with age 3 is it's a little tighter, and I know those who have little ones now, I know they're benefiting from their parents if they have the ability to work from home. Just always being in their space, man. It makes a difference. It really does. I wish that I didn't have to work, those late night shifts and stuff like that. But we do, as men, we do what we have to do to, provide, and we make those sacrifices. If I had to do it all over again, I definitely wouldn't. I wouldn't work at night, man. I feel like I missed some time with my children, so to speak. Those who were watching my children at the time, they spent more time with them at their young age as they were developing. They were vitally important. When children are young, they're like a sponge, man. Everything you see, they see, they imitate, they absorb, man, and that molding and shaping process. So I will say that I missed that. So to my other brothers who still got the young ones, man, enjoy that time, man. It's definitely priceless, man. It's priceless. So I'm going through and I'm understanding the importance of being a father, being a dad, being there in their vital moments, man. I'm telling you, it's priceless.
And what we're doing is so vital, man. We're like,
Yeah.
not to get on a race thing, but we are Black fathers. You know what I mean? And, you're looking at 3 individuals that are there for their families through hard
100%.
times, everything, but we there. You know what I mean? And I think for our community, that is something that's so vital.
It is vital,
important.
Definitely vital, and the world needs to see it, because a lot of times it's portrayed like the Black father isn't there. And I feel like the Black father was there more so than the world, especially the media, allows it to be seen.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's like
That's so correct, yo. Because now that I'm my age and I have people who graduated with me and that I know, all of them are good fathers. Like all of them are holding down the households and stuff like that. So when I see that type of stuff, I'll be like, well, I don't know anybody. Well, only one. I don't really know anybody. I messed up, didn't I? I did. Only one, but that person's not in my life anymore. But I only know everybody else. Hey, I'm sorry. I don't deal. Let me tell you something about Levi. Okay, I'm gonna keep it straight, man. If you out here living life and you got a child out here, it's not something that I can respect. It's not something I can hang around, because your friends, I'm sorry, but your friends are a reflection of you, the crew that you hang out with.
100% true.
Your friends are a reflection. So if you got that around you, you're saying that you're okay with that. And I'm sorry, I can't say that I'm okay with that. But everybody else that I know, man, they're excellent fathers. So yeah, the media definitely tries to portray us in a bad light.
Well, I will say, I think it's changing now. I feel like it was back in the day. I try to look at like some of the people who I grew up with. Yeah, they probably. But anyway, that's me thinking out loud. Let me stop. Right now, where we are now, they still try not to show it like the Black father is not in the household or whatever. But you see it more and more that more often than not, like you said, that they're handling their business, and they should be. I know a lot of brothers who might have said that their father or whatever wasn't there, but they're definitely but as a father now themselves, they're handling their business. But I don't know. It's a great thing to see. It's a great thing to see. And it needs to be shown that Black men are not just these hard, abashed men. like they can be that, but still have love for their kid. I mean, don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. You're gonna get some hard Black fathers too, but they love their kids. You know what I'm saying? So and they're there for the kids. So
yeah, I would say I love kind of hard. I'm hard on my children because I want them to be successful. I want them to be 100 times better than me. I want my sons to be 1,000 times better than me. I want them because I know what's in them. I know they have excellent. They're smart. They're handsome and pretty. And I expect great things from them, man. Their whole life is ahead of them. And it's my responsibility. I've been blessed with, so it's my responsibility to shape them and guide them in the that path. Now, once they hit that threshold, where they're grown and gone, I did all that I could, that's all I can ask for, that they understand and keep the teachings that I brought to them as well as their mother.
So let's ask this. So like in 5 to 10 years from now, and this will be the last thing.
Okay.
5 to 10 years from now, where do you see yourself and your family, your kids, and the world and as a whole? Like, where do you
Oh,
see everything going?
don't ask me that.
Go ahead.
Man.
I want to know your thoughts.
For me, I know, I know in 5 years, my wife, she's gonna be a stay-at-home mom. Then my business, I know my business is gonna be good. And the world's gonna be crazy, man. I just, I even think about our literal democracy itself
Yeah,
on how that will be
absolutely.
in 5 years, because I don't know. This may sound crazy. I don't know if it will exist in the sense that we know it today.
It definitely people are working to change it. I tell you, they're working
Yeah.
to change things and make it a
Yeah.
little bit a lot
More
different than what
good.
Yeah. So that's it
it's.
for me.
Go ahead, meet.
Go ahead, Henry.
Yeah. So 5, 10 years from now, man, I hope, after everything that's going on in this world, man, of course, it's not going to get any better or easier, right?
I
The
don't
word
think so.
talks about that. So, this Bitcoin out here now, I think that might be that currency one, everybody having that same currency type of deal. Like Levi stated earlier, the laws are changing. Who knows, man? We might all need, the right to bear arms, right? You might all need some, just to fend off, It's just so much uncertainty and unknown as far as where this world is headed. We have so many different issues. We have issues that right now that we started, this Black Lives Matter and everything like that. We saw a little bit of justice today as far as the sentences and everything like that. Will it continue though? It's just this one and done type of deal. We still have, the corporate world, so to speak, where a Black American, works harder, for less pay, and then a Caucasian American. Let's keep it real, right? So there's
Yeah.
so many different disparities. We're doing the same job, but um, the salary difference is like 20, 30, 40% more. Why is that? We're doing the same work or even better. I just don't understand it. So there's so many other different issues out here that we need to address and stop sugarcoating it, stop walking around it, and let's get the heart. Let's get to the real deal, the real issues here, and let's fix it.
Yeah. Well, go ahead, meet. I still want to hear what you
Still
got to
waiting.
say.
The reason I said don't ask me this question is because in our group chat that we have, like there was the time when we were talking about well, you guys, because I got the chat on mute most of the time, but you guys were talking about like where you see yourselves and your family and your kids years from now. And I was saying like I'm good. Like if the Lord comes back and takes us tomorrow, I'm fine. Like of course I want to see my son grow up. I want to see like where my marriage goes. I want to see where we go successfully, individually and together. As far as my son too. But like I don't want to see my son grow up in this hellish world. The influences that like come and affect my marriage, like it's just a whole bunch of crap. And I know it's only going to get worse. Like, of course, we get stronger, but like, if I'm good, like, if the Lord comes and takes me tomorrow, like, it's cool with me.
No, I feel you on that. I feel you on that.
What's crazy, man? So you said 5 to 10 years, right? So I was just thinking, so my oldest Hannah, she'll be
Oh,
yeah, she'll be like 19 or so, somewhere around those lines. So got 19 and 17, 15,
Yeah,
and then age 3, he'll be somewhere. maybe five or seven, give or take. Yeah.
Good
So
time.
they'll be old. So I'll be a older young man. So
An older young man.
that's right, older young man. That's right. I'm
There
still
you
in my
go.
30s.
Tell
So,
him,
I'm
tell
still
him,
in my
tell him,
30s,
Freeman.
okay? I'm still young. I'll run circles
You know,
around
I
all
just
of
see
you.
you from now. Older
Come
young
see
man.
me, baby. Get your weight up. Come see me.
Oh my goodness. But I mean, for me, like 5 to 10 years, I don't know what the future holds. It's a lot that goes on with Terrance Hawkins. There's a lot that goes on.
The Bachelor
Just
Life. Yes, sir.
just stay tuned. Because I don't know. I don't know what the future holds. I just hope one day there's a kid in there. Maybe a wife in there. We'll see. I don't know. But it all depends on it depends on a lot. But hopefully one day y'all be able to meet a little Terrance Hawkins Jr. Could y'all imagine?
That's gonna be one spoiled child, boy. Woo!
I don't know about
He
that.
can get everything.
I don't know about that. But anyway, we're gonna go ahead and close it out. I appreciate my bros, Freeman and Meat, being in the place. Thanks, guys, for coming in and having this chat with us today. I appreciate y'all, and I really thank y'all for coming in. And also, I want to thank you guys for watching, the viewers. I know it's only 7 of y'all in here right now, but we appreciate you guys. And go ahead and share this with your friends, share it with your family. This is a bros talk, a quick talk. We just talking about life and family and whatnot. And next time we're going to come back, it's going to be most likely, I'm going to try to have a girls' night for you guys, but the ladies come back and they have a chat. And we'll see how that goes.
We'll see how that goes.
We'll see how that goes. But it should be fun. It should be a fun thing. But anyway, thanks for joining, guys. We'll see you next time on The Roundup. Take
Catch
care.
you later, guys. Peace.
See ya.
Peace.